Let us now look at the effectiveness of the incident management program. It has to be effective, right? Else there is no point having one. And let's see what pitfalls should you avoid. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. And as I said, let's talk about the effectiveness of the privacy program and any effectiveness of the incident management part of the privacy program and any pitfalls that you think you should avoid. We have already covered what a privacy compliance program is and why is it very important. We spoke about building a privacy team. We spoke about doing a mapping for all the data that we have, inventory of the data we have, so that we know what personal data we have, how does it move around in an organization, what are the various processes we handle, how do we collect it, how do we store it, how do we process it, how do we delete it, and how do we share it with third parties. The 5 pillars of privacy with respect to the Indian DPDP Act 2023. Privacy principles we spoke about. We'll define the exact purpose limitation. We'll collect only what is required to execute the purpose, data minimization. We'll take a consent from the principal before collecting the data, consent management. We will inform our internal teams how to handle personal data as committed to the customer, privacy policy, and we'll inform to the whole world how we are handling personal data through privacy notices. We spoke about data principal rights, vendor management, grievance redressal mechanism, and even keeping the data secure, confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. In the last video yesterday, we started talking about incident management, and now let's talk about some of the best practices followed by some of the pitfalls with respect to the incident management program within the privacy compliance program. So, what are the best practices? Keep everything documented. Any decision that you take, any change that you implement should be well documented. There should be a robust incident management team and a robust incident management process with the team. You should have a privacy focused incident playbook, right? So that, as I spoke in the last video also, so that when someone looks at or suspects also an incident, he should know where to go, where to escalate, where to talk about it, whom to report, what information required to report. So you should regularly conduct employee trainings with respect to handling incidents, with respect to detecting incidents as well, and regular awareness programs. Pick up knowledge from an incident of your organization, pick up knowledge from incidents that you see in the press from similar industries or even any industry. Privacy is about private data. Does not matter which industry the user was or data principal was. You involve your IT, your legal and your compliance teams, right? These are important things. It is always believed that if there is a breach, it is an IT hack. They didn't take it properly. Agreed, they could have improved the security, right? But they could have avoided the ransomware attack, they could have avoided the hacking, they could have avoided the unauthorized access. True, everything is true. But now you are talking of something which relates to compliance, something which relates to legal matters. So all the teams need to be involved. Even as a user, you should keep yourself away from phishing mails. That can also be dangerous. You should not open up your laptop in public where anyone can see what data are you handling on your laptop. I mean, it's such a common practice, sitting in a cafe, sitting on a roadside, you open up your laptops and start doing your work. Is your screen not publicly available? Is it an IT issue? No. You open up your mobile phone and start doing video calls. It's a reasonably good volume, right? Is it an IT issue? No. It's your behavioral issue, and that's why I said keep training your employees, keep making them more and more aware. You should always be ready with draft templates so that the moment there is an incident, people know what to do, which kind of template to use and report as soon as possible, because even your regulators, DPDP Act also, expects you to report very quickly, right? You should learn from each and every incident. Why did it happen? How was it mitigated? So what precautions can be built in my system so that it does not occur again? Update your documents and ensure that there is no reoccurrence of the incident that has happened today. So that's what the basic best practices of an effective incident mechanism. Now what the pitfalls, common mistakes to avoid. Delayed detection. So that means the tools that you have deployed or your employees are not alert enough that they realize that there is something wrong in the system. There could be false alarms. False alarms could also be because of employee education or tools. but they need to be handled very carefully because you cannot ignore an alarm assuming it to be a false alarm. Underreporting, people want to hide and correct it quickly. No, that does not work like that. Treat breach to be an IT only issue. I spoke about it on the previous slide also. Breach may not always be IT only issue. It could be beyond that. Lack of communication plan. Spoke about in the last slide. Incomplete documentation in logs. You know, when you are with the regulators, when you are in the data protection board, demonstrating your accountability by showing the proper logs is always going to get a good ranking for yourself. Timely notice to the regulators and data principals, very, very important. So the data principals can take care of their personal information, credit card information lost, no problems. I'll hide it away. I would get the card blocked, right? And then failing to timely give a notice or inform to the Data Protection Board of India. Need to be very, very careful and quick in handling these things and avoid these mistakes so that you have an effective incident management system as well as effective privacy compliance management system. So that's about incident management, the best practices and the pitfalls. We'll talk about what is it the regulators need with respect to DPDP Act and the incidents and the way you handle the incidents in subsequent videos. I hope you like the content of this video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my channel and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.